Hi, Bud Heaton with On Point Shooting. I wanted to record a quick message for you today. Something that comes up pretty consistently in the shooting world, especially sporting clays, and that is using our eyes. And I want to talk about how they're actually one of the most underutilized tools in our arsenal. Meaning, I can't tell you how many times I've been to a tournament or out to practice, and I get out shooting, and I go to shoot a pair or a target, and I shoot and I miss or make a mistake, and in the back of my mind I know what my mistake was, and that was simply I wasn't really seeing the target. And there's a big difference between looking at the target and seeing the target. When you're looking at the target, you're watching its flight path, you're seeing start to finish where it's moving from and going to. You also, might see the color. But when you're actually seeing the target, you're trying to see it spin. You're trying to see the rings. You're really focused in on the target. You see how it's moving in relationship with the ground and with the things around it. So you really know what its flight path is. That's going to help you. I have a firm belief that most of our shot is in the setup. If we don't set up properly, we're actually going to set ourselves up for failure. So if you can set yourself up right in the beginning, accomplishing or getting X's on your shot is actually going to be a lot easier. I compare looking at a target and seeing a target like reading a book. If you've ever been reading a book and you've read 2 or 3 pages, and all of a sudden you get aware that the fact that you've read 2 or 3 pages but you're not really sure what you've read. Or another example, if you've ever done air squats and you're not hitting full depth. You can do this pretty much all day, but as soon as you get all the way down, with your legs parallel to the ground, all of a sudden different muscles start firing, fatigue really increases, it gets a lot harder. And that's the type of thing that we deal with our eyes. Our eyes will actually fatigue faster, they'll dry out quicker, and it's an endurance game, especially in sporting clays where you're out 2-3 hours, 4-5 hours in a day shooting hundreds of targets. So what I want to talk about is how to set ourselves up so that in our shot we're actually at an advantage. To get started though, I want to just take a look at this clay target. Okay? Take a look at it for just a second. Now what did you notice about the clay target? What size was it? What color was it? Okay, here's a question. Did it have a black ring? Did you notice that or not? If you got that right, here's a bonus question. Was it a regular 108 millimeter or a MIDI 90 millimeter? If you can answer both of those, great, you're actually seeing the target. If not, let's work on seeing the target. Okay? So in terms of setting up our shot, there's a lot of things that we can do. Most of our problem actually comes from just not knowing where to look. So the simplest way that I explain trying to figure out where to look for a shot is where can you see it flash immediately? Meaning, if you look in a general direction or wherever the target's kind of coming from, where's the first flash that you see that target come through and your peripherals pick it up? If you can look at that spot there, you can be pretty consistent that you're going to find it every time. Your peripheral vision is a very powerful tool. You've been driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden you know that there's a car next to you, but you never had to look to your right or to your left. You just knew that there was a car there inherently because your peripheral vision was able to pick it up. So using your peripheral vision to watch for the flash of the target is actually going to draw your eyes to the movement of the target, and it's going to help you see the target much better. So in your setup, I always go from kill points. So I pick where I'm going to shoot the target, I pick where I'm going to hold my gun, and then I pick a spot where I'm going to hold my eyes. And that spot is always going to be where I initially see that flash of the target. And it might change depending on the lighting, the background, how fast is the target moving. And if I can stay consistent on where my eyes are looking, it's going to make my shot that much easier. So think about that as next time you're out to practice. And I've coached enough people to know that most everybody never really picks a consistent number 1 kill point, number 2 hold point, and number 3 look point. So start picking a consistent look point and a consistent kill point and a consistent hold point, and things are going to get a lot more systematic for you. It's kind of like an assembly line. When you build an assembly line, things just function properly. Sometimes you have breakdowns, but those are easily fixed because you have a system in place that allows you to, that you can trust in. So when you have a system in which you get to a station or to a target, whatever you're dealing with, and you can say, okay, I'm going to shoot it here, I'm going to hold it here, and I'm going to look here, and you can trust on that pre-shot routine every time. Dealing with harder targets or mental breakdowns or all the other aspects that come into the game gets much, much easier, simply because you have a system in place that you can rely on and trust in. And when your eyes are doing the job for you, helping you see where you're supposed to move your gun, where you're supposed to aim, and all those different aspects that come into actually breaking the target, it's going to be a lot easier by trusting in a system. So if you don't have a system in place, I can help you with that. You can email me at coaching@budheaton.com. I'd love to help you out. There's a lot of resources online too that you could find, different books about eyes and focusing. You can do different drills at home, watching a fan or picking a spot on the wall and looking at it, but then noticing what's around it and really dialing in on the focus. Another really cool drill that I like to use is I have two different items at different distances, and I'll focus on something on that item far away, and then I'll focus on the one that's close by. And by doing that, I'm training my eyes to focus on far away stuff and focus on close stuff, and it strengthens my eyes and their durability. So again, if I can help you in any way in this area, let me know. Just reach out, coaching@budheaton.com. I'd be happy to get together with you, walk you through some stuff, and it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like a system, an assembly line. If you can just trust in that assembly line to do its job, things are going to get much better, much easier, and much more efficient.